Welcome back to another video on Dormin games, and the next game we are currently working on, well, we or me, whatever, is Auto Empire Builder. I don't know if I'll change that name later because it just seems kind of generic, but we'll see as it gets further. What this game is a simpler sim type game. Think like early 2000s SimCity. One game I'm taking a lot of inspiration from was Car Tycoon. But the sim games where they still have things to manage, but it's not to the degree that you see with a lot of the modern sim games where it's like, even just SimCity is like, okay, here's all the plumbing, or City Skyline, here's all the plumbing, here's all the returns, here's the electrical. Okay, now we have zones for different type of production and things like that. And I enjoy gaming, but sometimes you're just not in the mood for something where there's like 5,000 things to pay attention to. So I'm trying to make a game that's a little simpler, not quite the clicker, hey, I'm not really paying attention, but also not so simple that you're just getting bored with it. Ramble, blah, blah. So, the game I am working on, I just wanted to give a brief rundown of how I am approaching it. While I was finishing up Misery Loves Company, I had started working on the back end for Auto Empire Builder. And I was using Trilio at first, but then I tried to go back to my programming roots, or not quite programming, it's more of just business roots. And I tried to make stories of, okay, here's one general thing we're doing, and then we'll add, different tasks to it as we go, and I was kind of doing that. But when you're a solo dev, I would just start going down the rabbit hole, and I was working on things I didn't think about when I had put together the board, so that it kind of got lost in the shuffle. So I reverted to using Jira just as a task organizer. Like, put a task up so I don't forget it. Allow myself to still keep programming a little willy-nilly on the back end, but try and track everything. So, like you see here, little things like adjust small car prices and things like that. I know what that means. And on the surface it's fine, but I also know what the depth is, and then you run into little bugs while you're developing. Sometimes you just want to fix it then. Sometimes you're like, I'll deal with that later. Hence the reason you see things like this. There's the bug icon. So I'd use Jira just to kind of try and keep things kind of on track, in order, and just try not to lose anything. That's really what it came down to. So, using this, as you can see, there's a lot of things I still have to kind of work out, but a lot of this is now more final for the actual functionality. I've got the code done. I learned that from Misery Loves Company. Build the code first. You might still have to build more code later, but you're just adding to it at that point. You're just refining it to meet the more confined restraints of what you're building, the models, things like that. So yeah, as you can see, I've got a lot of things marked as done over here. Subcontractors, stock trading, yada yada. So with that, let us switch over to Unity, and now you can just kind of see what's working, what's not. Let's just shrink this down because my face just doesn't need to be there. There we go. So the simple TLDR of things in place is, I've got basic road systems. I'll still have to improve them. There is expansion, if you can kind of see the mouse. For testing, I just put these as trees. You see little thingies right here that are just cylinders. Very exciting. So, and what happens, one of the features I like is the the city's going to grow as time goes on. So it'll unlock more things for you to try and purchase and expand your business to, things like that. So let's just give you a quick little show of the boring look of it, because there's nothing exciting about this right now. Right now we've got the world population of cars, of vehicles that you don't own. If we go to our factory, we can say, hey, I want to build a car. Oh, and something I still need to fix. I didn't think I clicked off there. Anyway, so let's click a new car. Hey, let's create it at a slightly lower price. Hey, we need to produce it. Start production. And boom, produced. So if we speed up the game a little, there's plenty of bugs for me to still figure out, because as you can tell here, there are vehicles just kind of stuck, not moving. But you can kind of, I put UI in place so I could kind of keep track of, okay, how are things going. So you can kind of see, hey, this car is going to a dealership, and these cars are kind of stuck in traffic, yada yada. Super exciting stuff, yeah. And you see subcontractor and junkyard here. Well, any second now, there we go. Hey, look, city expanded. Now we can look over here a little more. There's a few more businesses or families, just mediocre stuff right now, because nothing's pretty yet. But yeah, that is the game in its current form. I am hoping to release it this year. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to do. I'm still not the best at my gauging how long something's going to take. So we'll find out if I'm right with getting it done this year. With that said, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.